Hi, everybody. I'm Betty from English Corner Publishing Singapore. I'm a publisher and I only published one title for 20 years. And one title I have survived for till now. And what is the reason do I do from the banker to a publisher? Well, that's not fun, you know. I have wondering, why is it that children find learning science not an easy thing. By the time they come to 12 years old, they have to go for an examination. It's what we call the PSLE, which is a primary school living certificate. And many did not do well. And when they go to secondary schools, again, you always have only one special class for what you call pure science. And then maybe there are many reasons, and I find that why did children find learning science is so difficult? So perhaps that's where I started, to think that, how to explain children science by words, using thousands of words. Isn't it pictures would be better to explain science content? So I started to think, and I think that, and I gave up my job just to start this publishing without knowing anything. You gather the team. Well, when I was in the bank, you got plenty of money, you save a lot, but you lose all just creating what I call the science adventure. It was passion and nothing else. And I started this comic because I think that the children in Singapore would learn science in a happy manner and using a lot of illustration to explain a concept. And that is how I started Science Adventure 20 years ago. Comics is just like words. We say a picture speaks 1,000 words. What about the illustration? It talks to children. And we are able to convert a science story into comics. Therefore, that's how I started the journey. I pick up, where do I start? I say, at 5 years old, what do children need to learn? And therefore, we pick up major topics like they should know all about plants. But as parents, as teachers, even in the classroom, when you give examples to illustrate what is a plant, what is a living thing, what is a non-living thing, you only may be able to do one illustration. But I think children need more than that. Like us, we don't watch one movie in our whole life. We need to watch a lot. We need to read a lot of stories. Then that makes our life even more interesting. And therefore, children need more stories on science and how to create. There's so much things to know about. Everything around us is actually science. But do we know that? Do the children know that it's called science? And that learning science is actually fun. They need to know the facts. Therefore, we will have every topic. We talk about our body, how our body works, how to look after the body, how it functions. Same for animals, how they function. Not every animal is safe to touch. Not every plant is safe to eat. And therefore, we have so much stories over the 20 years, and every book is not the same. And children continue to read Science Adventure until today, and I can say that there are many of them actually grow up with it. We explain science in many ways. We have experiments. We talk about life skills, so that they know that certain things they cannot do. There's so much that the books actually tells them, much more than the school tell, much more from the parents, much more from anywhere. But anything that they see around them, they don't know, what is that science is actually around them. Then come to language, Initially, when I started 20 years ago, school says, no, comics, ban. And what did I do? I said, no, is that comics so bad? Let me show you. And with the willpower, I said, no, I'm going to show the power of comics. And definitely the language that we use is going to be a good language and not just a comic with no verb, with no phrase, no clause, no, past tense and present tense. We did all this, we incorporate even the language properly. And today, schools in Singapore are happy with it. Everywhere, in Australia too, in Malaysia, and everybody is reading Science Adventures, not just about science, it's also about language. And what children want to say is, I would like to say is that children who read Science Adventure start to tell stories to their parents because everything is real. And why did children want to tell the story after reading? It's because they're actually trying to confirm, something like this, why do, they will say, why is it, let's say they will ask the parents, there are a lot of questions that I have from children, they wonder, why do snakes shake the skin? What is it in a kangaroo pouch? Why seawater is salty? And how does wind occur? We get a lot of children asking questions. And if parents can't answer the questions, they will make phone calls, they will drop an email. And the next topic, we will talk about it, why the water is salty. So children also contribute ideas to me. They are so lovely. They always ask. And sometimes, they tell their parents, this work? Do you know, Daddy, this is how it happens? And therefore, that's how parents see that the power of comics makes the children learn so much, not only just learn what is all around them, they learn about animal, they know about plant, they learn about human being, they learn about themselves, they know how the liver works. So many things, So sometimes I said, some children learn to know about their body. And for 20 years, I can write lots of things about the body. And when children talk about it, I will tell the parents, they are going to be a doctor soon, Yeah. And what I can tell you is we do have topical like book on all about birds. And last year, we have started using science to learn English. And this is specially made for Korea. They have been looking how to teach science and learning English at the same time. So we did this, and it's so simple. We created stories and we make children learn. We ask questions, but we use science. We use science. Everything is about science. And at the same time, children are reading. See? These are what we call proper sentences. They are reading what is a dragonfly. We talk about dragonfly, and it's very simple for kindergarten. We talk about art, and today our book is we incorporate art in science, which is STEAM. And why is art important? Even myself, I have not, in my life, my whole life, I've never visited a museum. I find this is a joke, but it's true. I never appreciate art too. And after what I have done, parents do ask, why did you put art in? I say, when they learn art, they will learn how to appreciate you. Appreciation is what the focus is. Appreciation is my purpose, because I'm the first person to fall in love with art. It is so important that children need to know too. And I didn't know that. And children who look at these things was wondering. I was questioned by parents, why suddenly art? I asked, isn't that beautiful? Isn't it good? You can teach children to appreciate. And in the little stories, it tells you the history. It tells you the culture of different country. It tells you not only why, how did this come about? It tells you, see the history. In those days, we do have this trishaw in Singapore. And that's why, and is art related to science? Well, you need to have science knowledge in order to be an artist, in order to be an architect. Although you need to make a beautiful London Bridge, but how do you do it? So you need to understand science, you need to understand maths, and you must also have an artistic mind. All the time we were just looking at stamps, but no one looking at art. And when I started personally, I took over the art. I read a lot. I spent hours and hours trying to understand art. And today I can tell you, parents, for the first time, didn't even know we have 44 pieces of sculptures in our garden by the bay. They didn't know that in our botanical garden, we had Chopin. And what is he doing there? Chopin is never here. And why do we have them? So it learns from science, a little bit of art, a little bit of history, and language has not forgotten. Everything written there is in proper English, and nothing like what we think in our mind. Comics, that's broken English, they thought there's no proper language inside, but not for science adventure. With the children in mind, they become very knowledgeable. They learn English. And even we have parents from China, they love our book because they say, I learned English from science adventure. That's good news. Thank you.